Prince Alfonso's son, nephew of King Juan Carlos of Spain, welcomes us to Jarama. Said, let's look back at yesterday's race. Well, the race starts at Jarama, Madrid, fourth round of the BPR International GT Series in front of 30,000 spectators. Anders Olafsson of Ferrari on pole from the Gulf McLaren of Maurizio Sala, 38 cars, but Sala jumped the start. He'll get a 10-second penalty as they tear down into the first corner. Nuvolarium Fangio here on the Jarama circuit, the former Formula One track. Just outside Madrid, a lot of shoving and pushing, and what a level this series has got to now. There are 5 McLarens, 7 Ferraris, and a whole bunch of Porsches in this 38 car field. But look at the action. It's Ferrari against McLaren. It's not the Ferrari that was on pole. It's the Ferrari, the Pilote Ferrari of Michel Ferte, sharing the car with his brother Alain Ferte, streaming around the circuit here in 31-degree heat. That's well over 80 degrees on this sunny Sunday afternoon, yesterday afternoon where we were in Madrid. On board with Thomas Saldana, teammate of Prince Alfonso in the Repsol Crema Porsche. Field streaming out, but look at this. These cars all tied together, a whole bunch of McLarens. 2 new ones, that blue one you see there, the Gicardi car. And behind it, the yellow one is the Harrods car of Justin Bell and Andy Wallace, bringing the level of these cars up to 6 now. On board again with Thomas Saldana in the Repsol Porsche, running in GT1 with wider wheels, but not enough power yet to put it on terms with the McLarens and the Ferraris. That'll come hopefully by the next race at Nürburgring. It's still Ferte leading from Brazilian Maurizio Sala, then Fabien Giroir in the Gicardi car, then it's John Nielsen in the West car, and then Anders Olafsson having fallen back a bit at the start. But look at Andy Wallace pushing that Harrods car through into 6th place. Well, Michel Ferte, we saw doing such a good job at Le Castellet when the car was given just 10 demonstration laps and ran in 2nd place. And this is close. Thomas Saldana trying to sneak through inside one of the Porsches there, the car of de Lesseps and of Michel Neugarten. Well, this is real sports car racing. Look at this. 6 cars, 5 cars in the lead battle. Andy Wallace just holding a watching brief, and it's still the Ferrari F40. Then it's the Gulf McLaren. The other Gulf McLaren incidentally missing this race because Lindsay Owen-Jones rolled his car here on Thursday morning in qualifying, did a lot of damage to the car, none fortunately to himself, but the car's missing this race, back in Woking, being repaired in time hopefully for Nürburgring. Giroir pushed back into 3rd, he made a bit on the inside there, and just look at Anders Olafsson, watch the man who had pole position at Monza as well as here at Jarama, starting a charge up the field in the factory-built, factory-supported Ferrari Club Italia F40 GT Evolution. But it's Ferte at the moment, and alongside him, Sala pushing the McLaren, can't quite do it. Oh, Giroir tries to make a bid for the inside in the Gicardi car, first time out in this car being run by Dave Price Racing, as is the West car, and through goes Sala. He takes the lead, the pocket rocket, the Brazilian, as his teammate Ray Bellum calls him, leading the bunch. And look at this, a pocket handkerchief would not cover these 5 cars racing here at Jarama, all side by side coming down into the first corner, and Andy Wallace getting ever closer in the Harrods car. It's Ferrari, it's McLaren, McLaren, Ferrari, and then another McLaren behind as the RACE workers pull the Ferrari 348 GTB out of the sand. It's not slowing the lead battle by any means. Ferte really controlling the race in a car that has a lot less power than the other factory car, which is following it, that green and red car of Anders Olafsson. Well, John Nielsen's moved the West car up ahead of Giroir. They're lapping back markers already after only 6 laps. And look at Olafsson looking for a way past Giroir as well. This circuit, incidentally, was designed by John Hugenholtz, who died only last week, the man who built Zandvoort, the man who designed Suzuka. So this race, a very fitting memorial to the popular Dutchman, very sadly missed. Down the long straight. Hugenholtz has trademarked this, long straights with very tight corners at the end. And it's still Michel Ferte. This is the Aldix computer, Pilote backed Ferrari F40. And he's doing a grand job here at Jarama in a car that's been developed throughout this year. So it's still Sala, and it's still John Nielsen, but he's making a bid, and look, Giroir's been passed now by the Ferrari of Olafsson, and Andy Wallace is right up there with them in the Harrods car owned by Moody Fayed. Sharing with Justin Bell, son of the 5 times Le Mans winner. And Derek Bell rumoured to be driving with his son at Le Mans in that car this year. as well as Andy Wallace. Oh, look at this, Sala trying to make a bid to go for on the inside of the Ferrari, and John Nielsen sitting right behind. The Great Dane just looking for a chance to pass Joie there as well, but then Nielsen's passed by Olofsson in the Ferrari around the back of the circuit. Trouble with tires, you can see the West McLaren slide. Oh, and Olofsson's got problems as well. He's suddenly slowed dramatically. He's broken second gear, and he will be out of the race, very, very sadly. Now, also in one of these cars is Massimo Molti with Britain's Gary Ailes and Fabio Mancini, and they now take up the attack on the Wallace car. So out goes Olofsson, but the battle royal continues up front. And look at this, Andy. One of the few men in history to have won the Daytona 24 hours, the Sebring 12 hours, and the Le Mans 24 hours. Oh, he can't hold off the Ferrari. The Ferrari is something like 700 horsepower. The McLaren probably of 613. Of course, first time out, they had a torrid qualifying. They found duff front, shock absorbers on the car. Couldn't get it to handle. They didn't find it until the Sunday morning warm-up. And oh, Sala pushes Ferte off. The lead battle. The Ferrari's pushed off the circuit. It's in the sand. He spins round. Well, that was as blatant a piece of edging out as I've ever seen. Maurizio Sala, let's see it again in slow motion. Sala just pushing the Ferrari off the tarmac and then not allowing it back on. Ferte must be absolutely furious. Here he's hit again. He's on the grass. Sala will not let him get back on. He keeps the wide line. The Ferrari is committed on the grass into the sand and spins. Well, that's not the only drama going on, because on the other side of the circuit, Gerard Bacler's Venturi's on fire. You might say a debacle. He's out, the car's out, and while all that's going on, Joie and then Griard, Olivier Griard, take this car into the lead after a quicker pit stop than the others, with West McLaren now changing tyre compounds and changing to second driver Thomas Bischer, the German banker who owns the car. Rejoin the battle, the first race member for this Giacardi car. Well, behind them is a big battle going on as well in the GT2 category, and here it is, Enzo Calderari with lady racer Lilian Breiner looking for their third GT2 win of the year. They won in Daytona the 24 hours, not a BPR round of course. Then they won the first race of the year at Jerez, but they've had bad luck since. They're looking to improve on that. And here also is the Labre Porsche of Bob Wallach, Jean-Pierre Jarret and Christophe Bouchou battling it out with the Andy Wallace, Justin Bell McLaren. Justin Bell at the moment at the wheel, fighting Bouchou. Bouchou, the man who won Le Mans for Peugeot. Great battle going on around the circuit. And this Porsche has not yet got its big engine that it hoped to have in time for Jarama. Porsche say they can have it for Nürburgring, but at the moment, probably 480 horsepower against this McLaren's 630. Car, though, perhaps one of the best handling cars, best developed cars in the whole series. It won 4 races last year in the BPR series. And look at this, all around the circuit, the battle going on. That yellow Porsche just ahead, incidentally, second in GT2. That's the Habiteur Porsche 993 of Ferdinand de Lesseps and of Michel Neugarten. Handicapped, it's got a smashed windscreen. You can just saw it in the picture there. Apparently a ball of tyre rubber flew up, hit it in the screen. And they are driving virtually one-eyed throughout this whole race. Well, look at this battle going on behind the Porsche. The Harrods car going through, that's the speed differential between GT1 GT2. Everyone braking like crazy for the first corner. Very hard on the brakes there, but the rest of the circuit relatively easy on brakes because it's quite a slow circuit, but it does take a wear on tyres, especially in these 31-degree temperatures. There you see the screen quite clearly, or not, you can't see through it clearly, of course. Well, on goes this fascinating 4-hour race. Most drivers opting to do 1-hour shift, then hand over, and then do a second shift before handing over again. Refueling approximately every 1 hour for the GT1 cars, every 1 hour, 15 minutes for the GT2s. There's Enzo Calderari doing a great job. He's going to win GT2 this time, taking a lap out on de Lesseps and Neugarten. Well, behind them, in 6th place, is the HO Motorsport Porsche of Daytona 24 hours winner Jürgen Lassig, driving with Jörg van Gartsen. They in fact move up just slightly ahead of Breiner and Calderari in the closing laps. They're in 2nd place, the West McLaren, John Nielsen, now really back in the groove after tyre troubles. He had understeer and oversteer during the race, decided to change compounds. Car's working well now. He's in 2nd place. But But this is the man all eyes are on here. Ray Bellum and Maurizio Sala looking to take their third win in 4 races, despite that start penalty, a 10-second penalty, which the team was able to take after one of its pit stops without having to come in again, making up for a disastrous Monza for the Gulf team, where neither of the cars finished. Also makes up the poor Lindsay Owen-Jones accident on Thursday here. Well, the checkered flag's out, and Bellum and Sala take that win. Gulf McLaren 3 out of 4. The other one, of course, going to West.
Great job, third win.
Yeah, it was a good win. But inside the pits, we know we had to work very hard for this one. And I think Ray had a fantastic stint. He did 2 stints in a row with his temperature, and he could keep the tires, and he didn't change the tire at all. I think it was very good team effort to win this one.
Behind the Gulf and West cars, Labra Porsche take third, the first time they haven't finished second this year, but they lead the championship by 1 point after 4 rounds. Full report next Monday.